A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. Welcome back to the class once again. As we are dealing with the chapters, the Mughal Empire, and now we are towards the end of the chapter, I think, but it is not going to end today. And it will take more time. It will take 3-4 classes more to complete this chapter, as this is a very long and vast chapter. Because Mughals almost ruled for more than you can say 500 years. They ruled over here. So let us see Aurangzeb relation with Marathas. And the Marathas, how was the relation of Aurangzeb with the Marathas? We have seen his relation with others also. That was not quite good. Let us see with the Marathas. Aurangzeb was getting apprehensive about the growing power of Shivaji. So Aurangzeb was getting information about Shivaji, that he was growing in information, growing in of his power. He's arranging soldiers. You know, he's trying to make an army. So he sent Shaista Khan to fight against him. Aurangzeb thought that it is better to deal with Shivaji right now. Otherwise, he will gain more and more power. He will arrange more and more army or soldiers to fight against the Mughal emperors. So Aurangzeb sent one of his commanders, Shaista Khan, to fight against him. But Shivaji was quite clever. He disguised. Disguised का मतलब क्या होता है? बदल लेना, यानी कि चेहरा बदल लेना, चेंज कर लेना, लुक, है ना, टू चेंज योर लुक एंड अपीयरेंस. So Shivaji changed his look and appearance, disguised as a marriage party. Shivaji with 400 soldiers, so they changed themselves as the members that they are going for a marriage party. So they changed their dresses, they changed their looks, and then Shivaji with 400 soldiers stormed the camp and took everyone by surprise. So Shivaji and his soldiers stormed the camp of Shaista Khan and his soldiers and took him by surprise. यानी अचानक उन्होंने अटैक कर दिया उनके ऊपर में. Shaista Khan barely, है ना, managed to escape and his army was defeated. So Shaista Khan was alone, managed to escape only, and his full army was defeated because Shivaji attacked them just you can say by surprise. Next, Aurangzeb sent Raja Jai Singh to capture Shivaji and bring him to Agra. So the next was Raja Jai Singh was sent by Aurangzeb to capture or to defeat the Shivaji and his soldiers. And the fort of Purandar was surrounded, and where Shivaji was there, residing there, he was, or you can say hiding there, the fort of Purandar. So it was surrounded by the Mughal soldiers. Shivaji was captured, and Shivaji again, now this time he was captured. He was not able to escape. He was not treated with honor in the court of Aurangzeb and was about to leave the court when he was arrested. So he was brought in the court of Aurangzeb, and maybe something dealing was going on with Aurangzeb and Shivaji. There might be a talk also, but in that talk, Shivaji was not treated with honor, यानी उनको इज्जत से पेश नहीं आया गया, and he was about to leave the court when he was arrested. So you can see Shivaji was arrested by Aurangzeb. It was also Shivaji also attacked Aurangzeb's army, Mughal army. Mughal army again attacked Shivaji. So we can see the relation between the Marathas, or you can say Shivaji and Aurangzeb, was also not good. He was put in prison. Shivaji was put in prison, but he managed to escape in a basket of fruits. लेकिन वो फिर मैनेज कर लेते हैं, बाहर निकलने का रास्ता ढूंढ लेते हैं शिवाजी. He again managed to escape and he was hiding in the basket of fruits. Aurangzeb failed to recapture Shivaji once again. Now Aurangzeb was not able to capture him once again. So that is all with this, with the relation that we have seen Aurangzeb and Marathas. So Shivaji was not treated well. He was not treated with honor, and he was arrested. He was put in the prison, but he managed to escape. That is all about Shivaji and the relation of or Shivaji belonged to the Marathas, that we know already. So that relation was also not good, I think. Aurangzeb campaign against Deccan Sultanates. Now let us see his campaign against the Deccan. After suppressing Prince Akbar's rebellion, Aurangzeb sent armies against the Deccan Sultanates, the king who was living in the ruler who was living in the Deccan. So Aurangzeb also wanted to increase or expand his empire. So that's why he sent his people, his army against the Deccan. Bijapur was annexed, or you can say it was also merged with the Mughal Empire. Bijapur in the year 1686 and Golconda in the year 1687. So, students, you might have heard this name before also. Many of the Mughal emperors, they also tried to capture Bijapur and Golconda. They have added again and again. है ना? So that is the thing. So Bijapur was added, even Golconda in the next year it was added in the year 1698. Now there is a gap of almost 87, and then 98 it is written 11 or 12 years. Aurangzeb personally managed campaigns in the Deccan against the Marathas. So you can see 1698 Aurangzeb personally managed. Now he was personally doing the things. Previously he was sending his army, he was sending his commanders to attack Shivaji or the Marathas or to capture different places. But now you can see Aurangzeb personally here, he is leading from front, managing the campaigns in the Deccan against the Marathas. Who started? Guerrilla warfare. Now what is that guerrilla warfare? I have written in the brackets, you can see engagement in or the activities involved in a war fight by a small group of irregular soldiers. Actually they are irregular soldiers. Those army which were against Mughal emperors Aurangzeb, those army were really not the regular soldiers. Means people, the common man. If the common man will take up some weapons in their hand and they will try to become like or act like a soldier, that is known as guerrilla warfare. Means you can see guerrilla warfare means common man take some weapons in their hand and they are trained by someone, but they are not the regular soldiers. They do not fight the battle time and time again. So to defend themselves or to attack someone for once or twice, these type of people, these guys, they change themselves in the like the soldiers and they behave like the soldiers. So that is known as guerrilla warfare, when a common man takes up the weapon and start fighting. So Aurangzeb personally managed against the Marathas who started what? Guerrilla warfare. यानी अब मराठास के जितने भी लोग थे वो सब क्या हो रहे थे? लड़ने के लिए तैयार हो गए थे. They were all ready to fight and they really formed a small group of soldiers. Again, you can see in the northeast, the Ahams were defeated in the year 1663, but rebelled again in the year 1680s. So it was they were defeated earlier also Ahams, and this once again they were also defeated in the year 1680s again once again. So you can see Aurangzeb was not only fighting or handling Marathas, Shivaji or Bijapur, Golconda. The Ahams were also there who were again and again rebelling, and again and again going against the Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. Now we will move forward towards the date of Aurangzeb, how he died. Let us see. When Aurangzeb died in the year 1707 due to illness, the Mughal Empire was on the border of disintegration, that is breakdown or the collapse. After the death of Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor started declining, because he only handled the pressures of all the people who were against Mughal emperors. But it was quite difficult for the rulers who came after Aurangzeb to manage all these things. Aurangzeb campaigns in the Deccan had emptied the royal treasure. अब क्योंकि औरंगजेब बहुत दिनों तक डेक्कन में रहे and he fought with the Marathas, So a lot of you can say a lot of money was expended, a lot of gold and silvers, everything was spent on that particular campaign. His long stay in the Deccan had given rise as well to many revolts in the north. So as he left the north and he turned himself towards the south, or you can say northwest, northeast side. So the people who were there in the north side, they got the chance to revolt against this Mughal emperor, because Aurangzeb was busy with the Deccan. In the Deccan, he was quite busy there. Growth in trade and commerce also led to the emergence of new groups in the Deccan. And people, we know that one thing cannot stop, that is growth. So there was growth in trade as well as commerce also. So new groups were also emerging. Emerging means नए नए groups जो है वो तैयार हो रहे थे, ready हो रहे थे in the Deccan. And these groups showed their loyalty to the regional powers. Regional means local powers. And those groups were very loyal to the regional powers. And who were having the regional powers? The Marathas. The Shivaji was having there, and the Marathas were having the regional powers. So those groups who were coming new to the market, those groups was also joining the Marathas there. Aurangzeb was a staunch. Now we are turning towards the character of Aurangzeb, how he was living, whether he was living a luxurious life. No, it was not so. Aurangzeb was a staunch, means very loyal and committed in attitude towards his religion, है ना, बहुत वो दृढ़ थे, पक्का थे अपने रिलीजन की तरफ. He was a Sunni Muslim ruler. He was a Muslim ruler and he was devoted to the religion. He lived a very simple life. Uh, he was just making कैप्स, है ना, टोपी जो होता है नमाज पढ़ते वक्त हम लोग जो मुस्लिम्स लोग टोपी पहनते हैं, दैट इज द कैप. सो औरंगजेब वाज इन्वॉल्वड इन मेकिंग कैप्स एंड ही वाज सेलिंग इट, है ना, इन द मार्केट, है ना. ही वाज सेंडिंग हिज फ्यू पर्सन्स टू सेल दोस कैप्स इन द मार्केट, एंड वॉट एवर द मनी, है ना, वॉट एवर ही वाज अर्निंग from the market, he was only using those money only. He was not using a single pipe from the royal treasury. He was not taking any money from the royal treasury. So he was very staunch. He was a Muslim ruler and he thought that I will earn my livelihood from myself only. I will not use the money of the people. And that is why, because he was living a simple life, BM, and even he was a king, he was a emperor, he was an emperor of the Mughal Empire, he was living a very simple life. That is why he was also popularly called as Jinda Peer, or you can say living saint. Saint, you know the meaning of sadhu, saint, hai na? So people were calling him living saint, or in Hindi, in Urdu, people used to say him that he was a Jinda Peer, means he was a very living saint, hai na? He was a devoted religious man. He reimposed jizya. Jizya means that is the poll tax, that is the tax to the people who used to pay while going for pilgrimage, especially the non-Muslims. He imposed this tax on the non-Muslims who were going for pilgrimage, that is from one place to another place, and they will have to pay the tax. And he reimposed that one, because jizya was stopped by other rulers, but when he became the king, he reimposed that jizya, that is known as the tax on pilgrimage. Likewise, the Muslim used to go to Mecca for pilgrimage, Mecca and Medina. So people, we have to take the visa from that country. They have to pay the tax also to that country. So like that, if someone is living from one place to another place for pilgrimage, then he or she will have to pay taxes to the Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. Gradually, the policies, because this policy was only for the non-Muslim, so it was like a discrimination, it was like a injustice. So the policies of Aurangzeb pushed the empire towards the decline of the Mughal empire. So let us see, there is a video also that I have to show you regarding the decline.